friends, I'm Larson and I'm the IRC Tire Guide. Today we're going to talk about my personal tire setup as we get closer to Tennessee Knockout. And we're going to do a quick breakdown on how I change my Mousse Bibs. When changing a Mousse Bib, it's important to have the right tools for the job. There's a lot of misconceptions about the difficulty of changing mousses. A lot of the problems that people run into are usually a lack of the right tools and lack of proper form. I personally believe that changing a bib can be easier than changing a tube, but you just need to know the right tricks. I'm using the Damn Good tire changer from ZipTy Racing. There's a lot of little things about this tire changing stand that make it my personal favorite. It has the adjustable size, whether you're changing a 14, 17, 18, 19, or 21 inch tire, you always have the right adjustment. It has different size axle spacers, so you always have a snug fit. And it has this oversized bead braking arm with these gaps that make easy access for tire spoons. It's just well built and engineered, and it makes your tire changes that much easier. Alright, so we're setting up a tire for Tennessee Knockout. This is a VE33S Gakota. What I'm going to be running at Tennessee is an IX09W Gakota. I need as soft as a gummy compound as I can get. The VE33S Gakota is more of a middle range gummy tire. So we're going to set it up with a super soft gummy compound and a super soft mousse. The first thing we need to do is take off the mousse. So your first step is loosen your rim locks. Each one needs to be loosened up, and you don't necessarily have to take them completely off. I never do. I just loosen them and back them out all the way. After we've got our rim locks loosened, we use our special ZipTy Racing rim lock tool, and that just pulls the rim lock away from the actual tire, kind of loosening it up, right? Alright, so now we add our tire spoons. With the ZipTy Racing stand, it makes it really easy to add tire spoons. You use this big extended arm here, you pull down, and there's a gap in the actual arm itself, making it so you can fit a tire spoon in between the hole and making for easy access into the tire itself. After you've added all your tire spoons, you move the arm over to the opposite side of where the tire spoons are. Using the arm, sucking down the bead. When you're changing a mousse, it's all about moving the tire in relation to the rim. The more room you have on each side, it makes the tire change that much easier. It makes it less likely for you to actually break your bead while you're changing a mousse tube. So, press down on the arm, that presses down on the bead. Continue to push pressure on the arm, you push each tire spoon out. After I've pulled off all of these spoons, I take them out and I pull the tire, flip it around. So, using the arm again, we press down where we've loosened the bead itself. As we press down with the arm, now you can see that the bead is broken down away from the tire. Now, I personally run a double rim lock. We'll get into how to install one of those a little bit later, but if you are running a double rim lock, now you need to remove one side of the rim lock. So what I use is 2 tire spoons, and I pull away from the tire itself. If you can pull away from the tire and then put one of the spoons behind the rim lock and press down. It's very simple. It kind of seems a little more complicated than it is. It's actually really easy to do. You plop that over the rim lock, and that makes it so you can kind of continue to push down all the way around and push the bead completely off. Now, once the bead's completely off on one side, you use the ZipTy tool. You literally can just push down with your hand all the way around. If that's too hard, you can add a spoon in. Most of the time you don't really have to do that. The tire is now completely off. Now that the tire's completely off, we're going to add our prepped and ready IX09W. Okay, when I'm setting up a new mousse, I make sure to add a lot of tire soap. ZipTy Racing supplies an awesome tire soap. We make sure to put an extra amount in every single tire. Not only does that make the tire last longer, but it also allows the tire to be easier to take off in the future. The drier the mousse is, the harder the tire is going to be to take off. After we have our mousse completely lubed and ready, it's time to mount it. So, this is a non-directional tire, so it doesn't really matter which way we go. First thing I do is catch the rim lock with the bottom of the tire. After catching the rim lock with the bottom of the tire, I pull up to get the mousse above everything. The biggest thing that we're doing is trying to move the entire tire forward. That way it's easier to slip over the top of the rim. I'm using constant pressure with my knee to keep that mousse up high above the rim. And usually what I do is use 2 spoons and just work the tire over the rim. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. It's really simple. If you're working really hard, it usually means you're doing something wrong. Okay, after we've pressed that on, I run a double rim lock. Most guys with an extremely gummy tire, it's recommended to run a double rim lock. That way the tire doesn't spin. I would definitely recommend it with the IX09W. When you're running a double rim lock, what you have to do is flip the tire the other direction and push the actual bottom part of the bead over the rim lock. So I use 2 tire spoons. I get behind the bead of the tire and I pull it forward. Pull the bead above the rim lock. Then you can use your thumb and push on the rim lock and pull out the tire spoons. That allows the bead to fall onto the rim lock and hold perfectly. Okay, after I've got both rim locks on, I flip the tire back over, and now we just slowly, we could usually even press down with our hands. If you can't get it with your hands, use the arm and just work your way around really slowly. Allow that mousse to settle all the way into the rim. After the mousse is settled into the rim, what I do is start right next to your first bead lock. A lot of guys will say start on the left side, right side. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. I start on the right side and work my way around counterclockwise. We put 1 spoon in and we start working our way around, taking a bite at a time. Okay, once we reach the rim lock, the first rim lock, we add in a tire spoon and we grab our handy ZipTy Racing bead lock buddy here. We use the ZipTy Racing stand that have holes to pull the bead lock back and pull the tire so it falls down in, making a good seal on the bead lock. After your first bead lock is in place, continue moving around. Now, as you get closer to your second rim lock and closer to finishing the tire, you're going to start to feel it tighten up. As soon as it starts to get hard, this is when you use the arm and push down on the bead. This allows for the entire tire to move closer to the side that you're working. It's all about having the tire move in relation with the rim. Now that you're on your last pull to completely put the tire onto the rim, we use our ZipTy Racing rim lock puller here. We put the rim lock up against the actual rim lock and pull it in as far as you can and slowly work the tire so it pops on. After you've done that, remove all your tire spoons and tighten up your rim locks. After you've tightened your rim locks, you may notice that the bead isn't completely out. That's usually because you're running a really soft mousse. I get this all the time. What I like to do is grab a little bit of compressed air and put it into one of the gaps. This pushes compressed air into the tire and pushes the bead out completely. If you're running a double rim lock and you have the bead out completely, you should be solid to get out there and run. I hope that helps. It's all about having the right tools for the job. The ZipTy Racing Damn Good Tire Changer is available at ZipTyRacing.com. I use it. I'm amazed with it. I love it. And until next time, keep shredding.